I want to start by doing a little demonstration. I'd love you to try this. I've got a golf ball teed up. I've got my target, which is going to be the left-hand side of the green. Clearly, I don't want to get the flag as the water's in the way. So there's my target. And I'm going to hit 2 shots, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make the ball go at my target. But I'm going to do them from 2 slightly different positions. So I'm going to take my normal setup. I'm going to put myself into a delivery position, which is around about here, club level with the ground. Now you can see there on the left-hand side, +3, that's referring to my lead wrist. It's in a neutral position. But for this first one, I'm going to crank the wrist. So I'm going to cup or extend the wrist. Notice where the club face points way up towards the sky. So as I place my other hand on, you can see my wrist is now +40. So I'm going to, from here, see if I can hit my ball towards my target. I would say that was pretty good. It went pretty much at my target. The strike was pretty good. It was kind of a successful shot. But what you will notice, there wasn't a lot of body action there. It wasn't really rotating through, wasn't really getting a lot of shaft lean, wasn't really ending with this really extended position. It was the opposite. It was very flippy, very wristy, but key thing, ball went straight. Now let's do another little demonstration. This time, I'm going to put myself in that same delivery position, but I'm going to now work the wrist the opposite way. So now you can see it's -15. That tells my wrist is flexed or arched. Club face now points more down towards the ground. So what have I got to do now? I'm going to still hit my target. And both of those shots, my tripod's fallen over, both of those shots actually went pretty straight. But you're going to see on that second one, a very, very different movement with the body. You're going to see a lot more rotation. You're going to see a lot more shaft lean. You're going to see a lot more extension. Why was my body movement so different on those 2 shots, even though all I was really thinking about was target? It was because I was reacting to the golf club. You will be reacting to your golf club. Really, really powerful message there. I didn't have to tell my body to move my weight forward, rotate, push my hips, get the shaft lean. I didn't have to tell myself any of that because I was appreciating where the club face was. Every single one of you, somewhere deep inside, has got some golfing skill. We need to tap into that. The reason they weren't using their body well enough is because the club face was too open through the swing. Because it was too open through the swing, they were stalling their body, using their hands. This release and this lack of body turn was helping them. It was helping them hit straighter shots, but it was holding them back from playing their best golf. Better. Good. That was in the 30s. That was 37 and shot 1.
58.
58. So that's 20 degrees flatter. Day 1, you were cupped. Yeah. Now you're good. But here. Perfect. Turn, 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 turn. Good. There you go. See how nice that was, low and controlled, more body.
Also more body than...
Yeah, that was really good. So that little demonstration kind of shows us that if that face gets open in your golf swing, it doesn't really matter how hard you try and move the body, it's just not going to happen. So when that wrist gets more extended, cupped, the face gets open, things start to go wrong. One of the biggest problems, when I take a setup to my 7-iron, if I have my hands right in line with the club head, so the club shaft pretty neutral, what is my wrist position? +37. Okay, watch what happens if I have a little bit of shaft lean. If I push my hands forwards, that number starts to come down. The more I push it forward, it starts to come down towards 0. We're now at sort of +7. So effectively, the first thing I want to do with these golfers is give them a little bit more shaft lean at setup, because what that does is it takes out some of that extension. If we start with that extension, then it's going to be more difficult to get rid of it. Okay, we know we want to get closer to 0 at that delivery position. By starting with the hands back, we already start at this kind of +38 position. So the first thing I want to do is make sure these golfers had enough forward shaft lean. I like to get that grip just over the inside of the thigh. This is probably something I need to do because I tend to get my hands a bit too far back. That was the first thing. Second thing, I want you to go ahead and do this. I'm going to take a Sharpie, okay? You don't have to do this, but it's a good little exercise to do. And on my 7-iron, I'm going to draw. The Sharpie is not working particularly well. A face, okay? I know what you're thinking. Chris, you should have been an artist rather than a golf coach. That's my face for them. So I wanted to give them some visuals. I said to them, in your swing, let's go face to sky, face to ground. Let me show you what that looks like. Take a setup. When they got to the top of their backswings, most of them still had far too much extension. You can see there, 43. Okay, I wanted them to get that club face or that picture to point more towards the sky. So if I take that club face and point it more towards the sky, what does that do to my wrist? Guess what? It now goes to minus 23. That's telling me that my wrist is now in this flexed or arched position. So if I can take a setup and I can get the face that's on my 7-iron and feel like at the top of my swing, it points towards the sky, straight away I've taken my wrist and put it into that very, very neutral position. You can see that's absolutely bang on, well, it was bang on 0, it's now actually minus 4. Okay, that's the hack motion telling me where my wrist position is. How easy was that? Really easy. I wasn't thinking about extension or flexion. I was actually just thinking about, can I get this club face up towards the sky? The beauty with the hack motion, it gives me the data. So when I hit some shots in a minute, I'm going to see how well I did at that. And I can make some changes based on that. So face to sky, there, and then face to ground. This is not face to ground. My wrist is 42, 43 extended. If I can get the face to the ground, guess what that does? It starts to put me into that flexed or that arch position. And what we did in that little demonstration at the start is we basically said, when I can get here, I'm encouraged to start to use my body, use my pivot, use my rotation, get that perfect impact that so many of you are wanting, and actually a lot better golf from there. Face open, I'm always going to stall, I'm always going to get flippy. So watch what happens to these numbers when I simply go face to sky, face to ground. And that's my only swing thought. Hands go forward, that puts me in the 20s. Face to sky, that puts me +5. Face to ground, -6. Now I'm in a position where I can rotate through, really feel like I unwind my body and get that perfect little delivery. I'm just going to hit a shot. Doing that as a rehearsal, I'm going to pop that data on the screen so you can see. Face to sky, face to ground, and then we go through. Now that ball has not gone very far, but it was, well, I'm going to say perfect. So the key points here, a little bit of shaft lean at setup. That massively helps, it gets rid of some of that extension already. Take your little face, point it at the sky in the backswing, point it at the ground in the downswing, and straight away you will be encouraged to use your body. And trust me, you'll see yourself moving much, much better without even thinking about the body. So let's finish up with hitting a shot, and then we'll have a little look at the data and see kind of where that is. So I'm going to go left of the flag. Don't want to get tempted with that one. So this is my setup here. This is my tendency. I'm going to go a little forward of the hands. That helps me. Face to sky, face to ground.